Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and something I couldn't remember if I had reminded you of. On Link2, who is one of my sponsors, if you sign up for their Global Investor Conference, they're having it in Lisbon, Portugal, May 15th to the 20th. If you enter the promo code, you follow that link and you enter their promo code Unicorns and pick your top 3 startups, then they enter you for their raffle. They're going to be picking their first winner during their Link to Learn on January 20th. I think you can win a trip to Lisbon, I believe. Don't quote me, but I believe that's what they're giving away there. Now, every once in a while, it's good to remind everybody of just some basic facts. And so I decided I would say 5 of the many reasons I own and continue to buy XRP. The SEC case will end, but XRP won't. That's a fact. NFTs built on the XRP ledger just getting started. CBDCs built on the XRP ledger just getting started. It's ISO 222 compliant. And it's fast, scalable, and inexpensive. Bitcoin and Ethereum are not. Those are the facts, jacks. Okay? That's just the way it is. Now, our old buddy Mike Novogratz was on Squawk Box. He was commenting a little bit on why on the market that's pulled back and all that. And so I wanted to go show you a couple of these clips.
We're looking at Bitcoin falling, obviously Ethereum actually falling even more. You're looking at Solana, Polkadot. I mean, it's across the board. Is this just a function of some of the big tech stocks? I mean, you're seeing that correlated. Are people selling out of that and selling out of this because they have to, or what's really happening?
Well, listen, part of the Bitcoin story was the debasement of fiat currency. And as the Fed looks to get more hawkish, some of that comes off. And so part of this is, people thinking maybe the Fed will be more responsible. Some of that is crypto's a risk asset. It still is correlated to the NASDAQ. But let's be careful. Like the NASDAQ's off 4% from the highs. Crypto's off somewhere between 35 and 40%. So it's had a lot of the fall. This last move down has been on low volume. There's been mostly selling, not buying, but it hasn't been big selling. I do think, down 40,000, 42,000 to 38,000, you'll find a lot of support for Bitcoin. Crypto had a monster year last year. It's hard to think you're going to grow to the sky nonstop, right? So this is a pullback. We see a tremendous amount of institutional demand, on the sidelines, and so I'm not nervous in the medium term. But we're going to have a lot of volatility in the next few weeks.
Okay, there was that clip, and then here was another clip.
Speak to this, though. So, first of all, you think that there's a floor at 38,000 on Bitcoin? Why do you think that?
It just, listen, I know big institutions who are going through their process to put positions on. And so I think they're going to see those as attractive levels to buy. On the charts, 38.40 feels like where we should bottom. Listen, all of us, every single investor out there has to have some, part of their head that says, are we going into a paradigm shift, right? Like we've had this philosophy that the Fed's going to keep rates low forever. And even now they're going to raise rates to 2% over 2 years gradually and continue to buy treasuries for a while. So we're in this liquidity bubble. And inflation is 6%. If inflation doesn't come down like the Fed thinks it does, all bets are off. I look at the 10-year, it's gone from 135 to 170 in a week. On the chart, it looks like it's going to go to 2 and then 2.5. And so if it goes to 2 and 2.5, asset prices are probably not going to go high during that time. And so I certainly think portfolios need tail hedges. We should be open-minded so that we could be going into a paradigm shift. I don't think that crushes crypto. There's too much of a movement going on, but it certainly slows it down.
But let's just speak to the paradigm shift issue, and also.
Well, here's the problem, Mike. The problem is that there's no reason to invest in Bitcoin except for this store of value, because you and I both know that Bitcoin has no utility. And that's the problem. That's the reason all along. That's the reason we've been talking XRP and XLM all along. These are the two that that are going to actually be used. Bitcoin, they created this store of value narrative because they realized that it couldn't do anything else because the technology sucks. Okay? That's the whole point. It's been the whole point. The digital assets that are coming out of this thing that are gonna change the financial world for good are gonna be the ones with utility. And Mike's not a dummy. Don't make no mistake. Mike is no dummy. He's known this all along. These guys knew that they were going to ride this thing this horse as long as they could, but on Bitcoin that they knew was nothing. This is what's such a farce about all this. Bitcoin and Ethereum, proof of work Ethereum that doesn't work. I'm telling you, these Wall Street guys, they rode this intentionally. They knew that this would end eventually because they can't be used because proof of work does not work. Period. I've been screaming it for 3 years, folks, and all these people acted like we were crazy, and we were right. We are right. Utility is everything. Brad Garlinghouse was saying it 3 years ago. No utility, no value. I don't care if it's a meme coin or a proof of work that doesn't work. If it doesn't have a utility, if it can't be used to better this world financially, it's not going to happen in the long run. I don't care if that's Bitcoin or whatever, because XRP can do everything Bitcoin does except one little thing. It can do it faster, less expensive, more scalable. You can store your money in XRP just like you can. They act like Bitcoin has some unique feature that's a store of value. BS. You can store that same value in XRP. The only difference is when you decide to move it, it's going to move faster in a less expensive way, and the XRP is more scalable, period. That's the fact, Jack, too. All right, moving along. I just wanted to show you this because Ripple had posted this into the new year about how they were they're hiring and all this, okay? I just wanted to scroll this to illustrate a point. Does this look like a company who is worried about an SEC? These are their job postings, folks. Does this look like a company that is in some kind of danger from the SEC? You know what it looks like more to me? It looks like a company that, because of the economy and all the things that are going on right now, is having trouble finding talent. If they've got a problem, that's the problem. Okay, Michael at VAL5 links. He says, U.S. Congress reportedly set hearing on Bitcoin's carbon footprint. Check this out. A source involved in a pre-hearing discussions on the subcommittee told the bloc that the House Energy and Commerce Committee was concerned about environmental issues resulting from recent events in New York State, referring to the rapid growth of Bitcoin mining in the U.S. state. After China's blanket ban on crypto in September 2021, many large mining companies moved operations to U.S. states such as New York, Texas, Alabama, Wyoming. These states have offered less expensive electricity rates to mining firms. The growth in U.S.-based crypto mining helped make the country the largest contributor to Bitcoin's global hash rate in October 2021. Nevertheless, some environmentalists and politicians have voiced their concerns regarding the environmental impact left behind by the mining industry. Folks, do you really think in this climate, no pun intended, do you really think that our politicians are, and look, here's what's been happening for years now. Every time Congress has people come up there, and we'll see if it happens again, every time they have people come up there, they have nothing but Bitcoin maxis sit in front of them and explain to them all the reasons that Bitcoin's going to be able to solve these issues, these energy issues and all this. And it's a false premise because they sit them up there and none of the Bitcoin maxis tell them the truth, which is, hey, there are other networks like XRP or XLM and some of these others that don't have this energy problem. What they do is they sit up there in front of them and they act like, oh, well, Bitcoin's the only thing and there are no other options and we're doing workarounds and we're going to fix it and here's some positive spins on the fact that it uses all this energy. It's been one big lie, folks. Proof of work doesn't work. And there's only been a tiny handful of us out here telling the truth for the last few years. The rest of the crypto media has been carrying a narrative lie, and they knew they were carrying a narrative lie, and they continue to carry it. And the question is, will Congress this time act? Why not have some people? Why not have Charles Hoskinson sit up in front of you? Why not have Brad Garlinghouse sit up in front of you, or David Schwartz, to explain to you that, hey, Bitcoin was just the first. It's Blockbuster Video. It's MySpace. Why are we still talking about it? Why are we still talking about Ethereum proof of work? And why is Vitalik Buterin and Joseph Lubin being allowed to walk around like Ethereum is the end-all be-all without being asked any questions? Why should we be wasting our time with this when other technologies are already ready to go and going? And everybody's focusing on these distractions, these prototypes and demos. That article reminded me of a few weeks ago when Chris Larson tweeted this. Remember this? You may have seen me and others advocate for Bitcoin to move away from proof of work to address energy consumption long term. A common pushback is that miners would never get on board with this. Well, today I'm proposing a solution. He had a whole write-up. You can see where everything's going, folks, if you're paying attention. Now, James Phelan had tweeted this out, I believe, yesterday. SEC has filed a letter of supplemental authority in support of its motion to strike Ripple's fair notice defense. Below are the letter and the case for the SEC relies on. And Jeremy Hogan kind of put this in layman's terms. A case came out last month that marginally helps the SEC's position in its motion to strike Ripple's fair notice defense to the SEC filed it with the court. It was a very different stage of litigation, and the standard is completely different than SEC versus Ripple case. If in the Fife case, the defendant tried to argue fair notice in order to dismiss the lawsuit entirely and failed because the burden is very high on the party moving to strike a pleading. Fife can still raise it as an affirmative defense, and I expect that they will. In the Ripple case, it's the SEC that's trying to strike the affirmative defense of fair notice, and it has a high burden to meet. The general idea in modern courts is the decision should be made after looking at the evidence, unless there's no plausible way of winning. Then he goes simpler. The SEC's new case is also discussing whether a guy should date a girl, but the new case involves a 25-year-old guy, and the Ripple case involved a 50-year-old guy. The girl hasn't changed, but the criteria the guy will use to make the decision are completely different. Well, that's kind of funny. All right, moving along. This was interesting from the Digital Pound Foundation. Ripple, a founding member of the Digital Pound Foundation, have released a new report on the future of CBDCs. I don't know if this is new or from a little while back. I haven't gone into it because you have to sign up. But I also wanted to make you aware of a couple more things. John Deaton, it's about the token, not about the token itself. He's got a new thread here, which I'm not going to go through right now, but it's a great one. I just wanted to make you aware of it, okay? Also, Elon Musk. This is interesting. Starlinks with lasers deployed to orbit. Man, I'm telling you, when the history books are written, I'm going to be proven to be right, because I think that Starlink satellites, 5G, and all of this has everything to do with creating an intergalactic currency, folks. I believe that that's what PayPal, Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, and all of them set out to do way back when they were creating PayPal. And I think we've laid out a pretty good case that Elon Musk has this obsession with the letter X, and I've tied him directly to XLM. I believe he likes to joke around about Dogecoin, but I believe when the history books are written, we will find out that Elon Musk and a lot of the people from the PayPal mafia were involved with XRP and XLM from way back when. I've shown a lot of things, but I wouldn't say I've proven it conclusively, but I would say I'm convinced. Now, here, I wanted to show you, well, I'm not going to go into that, but I'm going to skip that. But I every time he tweets about Starlink, I'm just sitting there going, man, I know I'm right. XRP Fix tweeted this the other day. Breaking, he had sent a letter to this senator. Let me make sure. Senator John Hickenlooper. All right. And John Hickenlooper basically responds to him and says that he has, let's see, the SEC is an executive branch, and says we trust that the SEC is acting in good faith. Well, our old buddy TIG decided he would reply to him with some facts. He says, "Hi, Senator. You're sending out responses to harmed investors saying you trust the SEC is acting in good faith. However, we have the timeline. We have the facts. Please consider these before responding to any more harmed investors. There is much more to this." I mean, this is great. "We trust that the SEC," this is from his letter, "we trust they're acting in good faith." And then TAIG says, he says, "At the SEC, Hinman collected $15 million from his law firm, a board member of the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, and is now a partner with Andreessen's $2.2 billion crypto fund, the same investors who helped write the speech." And then he's got the quote from Jay Clayton. "I did not know any of the companies I worked for, I work for now while in government." And then TAIG has the Jay Clayton's calendar where he was meeting with Apollo, which is one of those companies. "Former SEC Chairman Jay Clayton joins buyout firm Apollo Global." So, look, if these senators want to see, they're going to see, because we've shown them. The timeline's there. We've got the video. We have all the evidence. So look, these people are either going to do the right thing or they're not. You either have a country of laws, or maybe we don't anymore. I don't know. We're going to find out. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that we either have a country of laws that apply to everyone or we don't. We either have politicians who now protect their own, which is the bureaucrats and all these people, the revolving door of the SEC, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Congress. We either have a law that treats all of them the way that we are treated, or we don't. And if we don't, then I can only hope that all of you get wealthy from digital assets, and you can go find yourself a plot of land to maybe just live out your lives and hope that all of the corruption does not come visit you. Maybe get a dog. I mean, this is kind of me thinking out loud. Maybe we're at a place in our country where all these people just are, they've gotten too far down the road of doing the wrong thing, and they're just not going to do the right thing anymore. Maybe that's what we have to do. Maybe we just have to try and find a peaceful plot of land, get a couple of dogs, have a few guns for protection, and just live out your life, and say, oh, well, guess we got to kiss our country goodbye, because that's what it feels like. I'll be honest. That's what this country feels like now. That's what the world feels like now. We live in this is some sick, upside down crap we're living in. Left is right, right is wrong, up is down. The sky looks blue, but they tell us it's black. We are living in some sick stuff, and I'm not afraid to say it. I do fear for my children's future, because I haven't seen any indication that any of these people are going to do the right thing. I really haven't. Thanks for listening.